Oh, Karina. Okay.
Karina.
You said that so your current boyfriend is your second boyfriend, and you would during college you'd go on dates, each and each and every one of those men, they would always protect you, and your choice to not get into a relationship, not be sexual. However, when it came to females, the women, your maybe female friends or not colleagues, acquaintances,
the girls around me,
they were the ones who would always try to pressure you to make you lose your virginity, get a boyfriend, smoke weed, all the things you didn't want to do. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so that has been going on since I was in high school. And it was to the point where, like, there was this one girl, she would trick me. And she would be like, hey, let's go out. Let's go to the mall. And there would be a guy there. And she's like, oh, I just want you to have a boyfriend. It's time, And that went on even in college. And I thought it would be different because I'm meeting different girls from different states and all this stuff. But it didn't. And I told myself I didn't want to have my first boyfriend until I was like 21. So when I did go on dates, I would let them know, like, hey, I'm not ready for that. I'm too young. I'm still a virgin, And they would respect that and they wouldn't talk about it. But if I were to tell females, hey, I don't want to have a boyfriend. I want to have a boyfriend right now. I want to remain I want to stay a virgin. They'll be like, what? No, you need to lose it. You need to do this. You need to do that. And with the weed part, I did not want to smoke weed. I told all of the girls around me in my dorm, don't want to smoke weed. So they locked me in their car. So I was sitting in the back seat. And they were sitting beside me, and there was two in the front, and they locked the car. And they started smoking weed, so it was basically a hot box.
Oh my gosh!
And they told me, they're like, since you don't want to smoke weed, we'll just make you. You just have to.
Let's smash a window.
Yeah. No, definitely not. That's why I always struggled with women, because it's hard for me to voice my opinion on what I think about marriage or life or God, and they just disagree, and
But that sort of behavior doesn't
Down.
discriminate. I've seen guys do dodgy stuff like that as well.
And that's the thing. I was so lucky that the men that I would speak to, or so associate myself with, they never degraded me on my choices. So I was always lucky. But females, I'm not lucky in my life.
I've seen very similar behavior, not necessarily in my personal life, but even just speaking to women, a lot of the times it is very much like a peer pressure type of culture with that type of stuff. It's very interesting. And I've had either past romantic endeavors and even just male friends that will be very accepting of those types of values, and women tend to be a little bit more pushy on them. It's very interesting. I've seen very similar situations.
And it comes from jealousy too, because I remember this one female from my high school, and I told her I was still a virgin. She was like, oh, that's nice. I wish I was still a virgin. But she was a little nicer about it, but some of them are not. Yeah. And it's sad. Because
I think it does come a lot of the times from a place of either ignorance or jealousy. I think people are at some point able to reflect on their own behavior and realize that it doesn't make them feel good, and when you have engaged in that same behavior and uphold yourself to those morals that they're not conscious of it but wish that they did, they're very they feel guilty and they project it in a negative way, for sure.
And misery loves company.
Absolutely.
They were really trying to make me
100%.
Yeah, I think that women generally have to be very careful with their friends as well, and you see this even with married women as well. Oftentimes the reason why they will divorce is because they'll have a friendship group who will be telling her, yeah girl, you're not happy, you're not happy, you just need to dump him and you'll be so much happier single, and it's just not the case, unfortunately.
And sometimes those are the ones that go to their husbands after, which is crazy.
It's very interesting, this hate men culture when it comes to women. It's even people that don't proclaim themselves as feminists, and maybe they'll say some sort of statement like I just hate men, and then they'll be like, I don't really hate men. It's like, well, are you a walking contradiction, first of all? But second of all, obviously you're saying that for some sort of reason. And I just find it very interesting that a lot of people aren't able to separate that person's sex from their character. And they're horrible women out there. There's horrible men,
why
of course.
Give up?
Exactly. And seek out good relationships, whether that be romantic or a friendship. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
There's
You're
some
only-
women that say they hate men that also need them for validation.
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah. And they
Right.
seek the most validation from men. Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you guys select for friends? I'm interested. What are the key criterias?
God.
Yeah,
Gotta
you're
be Christian.
you're only as good as the company you keep. You know, girl, like you said, I'd prefer people that don't go out a lot. That's just not. It doesn't fit with my lifestyle anymore. I enjoy being friends with a lot of people that are in relationships as well or married, and of course Christians, believe in God, go to church, those kind of things.
And also females who kind of have the same like goal in their future marriage as me, like, because I want to be submissive and I want to be like, I want to let my husband lead. If she starts saying that's ridiculous or that's stupid or that's
Sounds like you've got a few of these friends to fend off at the moment.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in you really are a collective of the 5 people that you hang out with most. And I think there's a time and a place for if you have a good standard with your morals and whatnot. And I think that some people are very called to help people and kind of help shape other people's beliefs and behaviors. But at the same time, there has to be some sort of boundary or standard that you set for yourself and how you interact with these people. And I have a lot of people like that in my life, but I've come to terms in the type of people that they are and the type of friendships or relationships I can have with them, and I keep a distance when it's
Yes.
appropriate. And
Yes.
yeah,
It's the smartest thing to do too for our own mental health.
absolutely.
Female friends can be recruiters, unfortunately.
Yes, they can.
I think
Yeah.
you will find more peace in your life too if you're not surrounded by those friends that are promoting things that you wouldn't necessarily agree with or you know
Absolutely.
desire.
It just doesn't bring peace at all, because if I want to talk about it, there's just going to be like an argument or tension. And you know, females, they hold grudges, so it's going to
Well, it's
never
very
gonna-
hard to cut people off, but sometimes that's what's necessary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.